I think this is going to be a continued effort to flesh all of that out. I could be surprised, but I'm fairly certain, given what they have teased, the fact that the character was carrying what looked like a grimoire kind of off her hip. She had some sort of weird tentacle creature lurking behind her. There was the sun was eclipsed, and the dark side of the planet looked like it was literally bleeding shadows. It had a very eldritch, kind of dark gods feel to it. Marison says, I read the Golden Cube as something architect. Maybe a battle between architect and void magic. I mean, it could be magical. It could also... Like, one of the things that I don't see a lot of people talking about is the fact that in RimWorld, you don't really have aliens. RimWorld is a very human-centric space game. You've got things like the bugs and the mechs, but the mechs, all the architects were ultimately made by humans at some point, and the bugs, I'm fairly certain, were genetically engineered by humans. Wargs genetically engineered to fight the bugs. And then all of the different, like, types of pawns, the impids, the pigskins, Itakin, all of that, they are just modified humans, but they come from base human stock, even though some of them have now got like gene lines, so they can breed and create offspring that have those genetic qualities and pass them down. They still ultimately all came from humans. This might be our first introduction to actual aliens, because it doesn't necessarily need to be magical. It could be more like Geiger-esque alien sort of stuff. Which I think I would find... I think I'd be okay with that. I think I'd find that fun. There we go. Look at all of these people eating at tables. My lord. Not a tantrum in sight. They abandoned all grounded sci-fi when they introduced vampires, in my opinion. That's the thing, though. They didn't really introduce vampires, did they? They introduced sanguiphages. Vampires by any other name, but there was an attempt to sci-fi-ify it. If that makes sense. Sci-fi-ify? But you know what I mean. There was an attempt to say, well, I mean, you know, they resemble the they're not undead, dead though. They're literally just nanomachines, son. But yeah, I get where you're going, and it could be just straight out balls to the wall magic. I hope it's not, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't find the magic mods that engaging. The psionic, you know, effectively magic, it's kind of muted, and I don't mind that one as much, especially because most of them are like utility. But when it comes to the whole thing of like straight up mystical stuff, I don't know. I would take cyber vampires over you know, straight-faced undead monstrosities. That being said, if they wanted to go like the direction of Vampire Hunter D vampires, I'd be on board with that in a second. I'd be like, okay, yeah. No, they are actually undead, but they're also like, these are future vampires with high-tech castles. And I'd be like, no, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief at this point. Oh, no, I know you didn't say it was a bad thing, Alex. I was more saying that, like, if it was, like, straight-up magic, I'm not sure I would be on board with that. I don't know. I kind of like... I like there being some degree of sci-fi in the sci-fi game, rather than just straight-out, like, haha, I cast magic missile at the darkness sort of thing, you know? That being said, I mean... the dryads, but they were still very science-y. It wasn't really myth and folklore. But I reserve judgment on, what they're doing, because written well, anything would work. I'm sure they could introduce actual folklore. As long as they wrote it well into the setting, it would be fine. I'm just generally quite excited for where it's going to go. I do kind of hope for something, if it is kind of like the whole Void Gods, that we are going more Cthulhu than Dungeons and Dragons, though. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things I was talking about with like magic mods, and why I don't mind the like animatory, effectively magic by any other name, because it's utility based, and it isn't really. It isn't like a direct power scaling, like, oh, well, I can now shoot mind bullets. There are mods that do that, and there are mods that give you like blood magic skills, and almost all of them make it feel cheap because you end up with a super pawn really early on, and then it just kind of breaks the pacing of the rest of the game. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the gameplay works, because since Biotech, they've kind of changed one really important facet with the DLCs, because until Biotech, I don't know whether it was by design, like they strictly said, hey, we never want someone to have like the DLCs won't interact with each other in such a way that you could have any DLC in any combination and you'll have the full experience. You don't need to have bought X DLC to unlock Y feature in Z DLC. However, that changed a little bit with Biotech, and it changed in quite an organic way, but it was a change. It was a very noticeable change, and that was specifically that when Biotech added children, there came the problem with royalties DLCs anima tree. So you've got you have the tribals who can interact with the anima tree and can gain psi levels through that. Well, now children of natives to the RimWorld in Biotech, which added children, were being born who couldn't interact with the anima tree, and that was kind of something which people didn't find very intuitive. And so they have changed that now. So a system which was added by Biotech is now mindful of and interacts with a system that was introduced in Royalty. So it kind of opened the gate for potentially maybe right from the get-go interactions between the DLCs. That's no longer off limits anymore. So I'm kind of hopeful that is the case, because again, like I said, I don't know, like I don't keep up with the game news as much as I probably should, given my job. I don't know if there was a specific and intentioned effort to avoid having DLCs interact, but that seemed to be the kind of de facto rule with the DLCs prior to that. And I think there may have actually been one or two times when that was said, but so I don't know if they've like addressed it and said, no, we've changed our mind, but they definitely did address the whole thing with the native with tribal children, children born of tribal parents being able to interact with the anima tree. And so that is a system in one DLC which is now interacting with a system in another. So maybe we will see that has changed something, and as a consequence we're now going to get much more interplay between the DLCs. And if that is the case, then there is a possibility for a very, very interesting experience with the new DLC coming out. Yeah, everything interacts with the ideal, and that's actually a good point. Yeah, because obviously with Biotech, you had the Blood Feeder Ideologian. So again, that's something, that's a sign of where Biotech interacted with another DLC. That's a good catch, actually. I'd completely forgotten about that. But that's a very good catch. That is specifically something out of Biotech which is interacting with a specific ideology DLC mechanic. MoGamer Pro said, if I recall correctly, Tynan said they didn't want to have much interaction between the DLCs because it would lock content people paid for behind a second paywall. They'd have to buy the other DLC, and I get that actually, and that it does seem like a very Tynan perspective to have on it. But people asked for it, and that changed their minds, to my understanding, says MoGame Pro. Okay, well, I'm very much looking forward to it. Hey Hisson, how you doing, mate? And yes, Sir Nidor, there is a new DLC on the horizon. It has been teased with some very, very engaging kind of teaser art for the DLC. Don't know the name, don't know the nature of it, can make some guesses and have been theorizing through parts of the stream. There is a lot to unpack with her all, and let's just say that sky's the limit with some of this. I'm very, very excited to see where it goes. Very excited. Right. We've got children in here being indoctrinated and or educated. Very happy with that. Reports from our fisheries indicate the catch is unusually good today. Marvellous. We are making a steady bit of cash now. We've got a lot of fabric. I need my tailor to be able to use that fabric better, honestly. And they're not. We're consuming 134 reams of fabric to make 67 clothes a day. And we're producing 253 reams of fabric a day. So, and we're still not even coming close to producing everything with the cotton. So this is where having the other regions is really starting to help us out. We're generating large amounts of money as a direct consequence of this place. Having an upgraded cotton farm. At this point, I could put in the humidifier if I really wanted to get some extra Garthemi moving in, but it would pull down everyone else, so there's no point. But I think once we've got enough build points, I'll drop the Aavak pasture because it's not really bringing me in something of note. I mean, you know, it's not terrible as well because, you know, it is 50, which is a lot more than it used to be. And that part of that is as a consequence of the population, I think. Hello, friend. Oh, here we are. We're a band of noble people keeping the peace in our area. As you know, there are evil forces out there in the world, bent on destruction and conquest. We, however, are lovers of peace and would like to offer our protective services, but soldiers have to eat, so we kindly ask you to ship us 109,527 denarii, and let's say 10% of your goods in order for us to keep the peace. It's quite the bargain. We await your reply and looking forward to hearing from you within one day. Our scouts report they've got 193 soldiers, that's a fair bit more than our 140, with 32% training and 37% equipment. That is a lot less. So I'm going to decline the offer. I was going to decline anyway, frankly. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, things are going reasonably well over here. The Tilapis population is increasing. We're almost at the point where I can upgrade this again. That'll give us a wallop load more build points. And at that stage, I think we have to go for the gem production. Maybe once we do that, we'll build the builder area because that'll give us more build points to play with as well. Could also build a fight pit or something to increase loyalty a little bit more, but I think for the time being we're good. We've got enough health at the moment. I will have to upgrade to bathhouses somewhat soon. But that will increase the region capacity as well. Does sewers do that as well? No, they just give flat health. You will eventually need them. Right, well, let's wait for this fight, and we'll have that. Then we'll be wrapping up the stream for tonight. Like I said, I've got to head out. I think a good show against the Raiders would be a lovely way to wrap things up. That being said, if we die to them, that would be an awful way to wrap things up. So, you know, we're taking fate into our own hands a little bit doing this live, but I actually kind of like watching them eating at the restaurant. That's pretty cool. I like seeing the meals they're choosing. Seeing a good spread of them. Some eggs, bread, fruit. Right, there we go. Okay, let's head out and have a look. They're coming down. I'll wait for them to get there. At this point, I could have my army set up an attack. I'm just going to disband this army for now. It's 420 strength. I could form an army, put my troops into it, and also get a mercenary if I wanted to, but I really don't. I would very much like to just straight up fight them with my own troops. So, Tunk and Tunk. There we go. 140 versus 193. Engage. Wish me luck, chat. This is a decent sized force against us. How many different... They've got a lot of different divisions here. So, checking out the first one. They have arms and armor. 50 Cretonians. Next one is 69 to Lapis. Again, arms and armor. Light arms and armor. Oh, actually, shields as well, so that's not too terribly bad for them. Down here, we've got arms and armor once again. That's 12 Amevius. Got 20 humans over here. Mixed arms and armor. 17 Dondorians, light arms and armor. And 25 Garthemis with bows. Okay. Now, they are in a position that I kind of want to deal with ASAP. Right, so we're going to have a very good range. The fact that my range is shown up there until I get into the fight is just silly, but whatever. Alright, we want the fighters to be... the archers to be something like this. I have really, really been tempted to play more Mountain Blade lately. And playing in these fights just makes me more inclined, not gonna lie. You can stay in the forest, don't want you out. Remain in a good setup there. My Telapis archers don't need to be set up like that. In fact, let's move them back even further. They just need to attack from afar. Okay, stop. Right, Telapis. Take out the Garthemi as soon as you can, please. They'll turn into face. Assuming preparing. They've turned to face me as well. So they're 25 versus my... I think 70, yeah. Hopefully we can loose our arrows a bit sooner. Rest of their army is moving in. We got a couple of hits on the humans there. I need to have this army moving around. Because if this one charges straight into it, it would be a problem for me. Okay, we're seeing a bit of movement. Keep it up. Alright, let's have a look at my... You're aiming for them right now. I kind of want you to... Have we lost anyone there? No. We're just going to keep dancing around a little bit. We're just definitely seeing some blood on the field. They've lost a few units over there. I kind of want you to start moving around a lot faster. Keep them on the move. Keep them changing formations, unsure of where you're going to attack from. And that'll give the Talapis the greatest chance to clean up some of their number. Pause. Are they making a charge? But one went down there. A couple may have already gone down, actually. Right, the Talapis need to very quickly redeploy. You need to redeploy over there. Let's go. They're going in for the charge, but we should probably be out of their engagement range. Yeah. Managed to avoid that. They are going for the throne, though. Right, I want you to position yourself in such a way that you can engage if they go for the throne. Right, they have split up all over the place. Let's have a look at them. There's now only 10 Dondorans there. I'm not sure how many they had to begin with. 22 Garthemis. We can engage from a ridiculous distance. Ahead of move. Oh, have they split? Have they... Oh, they have. They've broken. Alright, nice. Very nice. Alright, so the Talapi can reposition. We've got ridiculous range. Our training has enabled this squad to be brutally effective at range. So once you're in position, I want you to wipe out the rest of their bow users. While all that's going down, I'm going to have the Cretonians move up and then just kind of try and envelop this group. Go ahead, just around them, please. They will now be kind of drawn into that. Hopefully they can finish them off quickly. I'd like them to completely envelop the group because they'll break a lot faster that way. What are my Talapi doing? Not a great deal, it seems. Okay, there's no reason for you to be that close, so you can be back here. Okay, they're charging in. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, I got pulled into the fight and that was a bad move on my part. See if they can withdraw. I'm not sure if they will be able to, though. We're going to lose a decent amount of them. While the Talapis are over here not engaging is going to be an issue. Their morale is sinking while this is going on. That being said, they do have the advantage of quite a significant gear advantage. And my Talapis should be able to shoot into the fight still. Just charge get in there and engage them. This was a very messy engagement because I got tied up with that group for far longer than I was expecting. I'm just going to have confidence in their gear advantage. All the while the Talapis are shooting into this group. So that's kind of a problem for me because they could easily end up tanking the morale of my troops. They are breaking, unfortunately. We've barely done enough damage yet. I shouldn't have allowed them to engage. Yeah, that's that whole group gone now. You to be on the move. Unfortunately, they can win this fight by just taking my throne. You to relocate. It would be odd if they didn't take the throne at this point, but I would welcome it. You do always have the throne thing in the fight, sadly, yeah. Not sure why. But yeah, I shouldn't have engaged the Amavius. That was a bad move on my part, and that caused that issue. How many bows, arrows have I got? I've got a decent amount still, actually. Go. Chunk of damage there. Draw back further. Keep making use of the fact you've got an enormous range compared to them. Like, I could be all the way over here and still pelting them. If they don't take the throne, then I will win. But I can't imagine they won't. Because from this range, I'm still deadly to them. This is the power of archery. Which is true in pretty much any game with this like. Just literally hemorrhaging all over the field. I'm going to allow them to select their own target for now. I don't know how many arrows they have, though. What on earth took us out? Have they got a catapult or something? Someone just got pelted by something. I have no idea what it was. And again, what on earth is doing that? Like, it could be their archers, but it would be peculiar for it to be. It is possible, but... back, and then we will continue firing at them. See, if I zoom out too much, I don't get to see them actually attack. There's a trail of blood all the way through there. Was a good volley, though. But I feel that shooting into a larger group would be a lot safer for me. Also, I don't see them setting up to attack, which is the odd thing. Like, usually, like, I have to be still for ages in order to loose a volley. And, like, that's hitting with such force. Is there any artillery on the field? No. Someone just exploded from tension, maybe. Right, let's draw back a bit. And keep following us. The fact we lost pretty much the entire Immorals, though, that is a huge blow to our army. We need this win, otherwise bad things happen. Let's have triple ranks. Speed it up a little bit. Okay. That was a big charge. Another shot, please. Nope. Keep moving. I think that's them done for now. Usually if they fail a charge like that, it nukes their morale so aggressively that it's over. Alright, let's get back into position that we can lay into them down there. What's our morale like? 3.9. It is not good. But it'll recover as long as I give them time to hold still for a bit. Go for this group. Oh, we out of arrows? Please don't tell me we are. No. I'm not actually sure even how to tell if you're out of arrows, if I'm honest. Our range is probably significantly nerfed now because of the rain. If they continue letting me just attack like this, I see no reason to stop. It's the human division, that's the Garthemi division. We've brought the numbers much closer together now. Now it's just a matter of waiting to see them attack. Okay, they're going for a charge. I think. No. Maybe. About to, I think. For a few more seconds before I move. Yeah, they're on the charge now. Right, so draw back in this direction. Go, go, go. Once they start a charge, they will usually keep following it, and then their cohesion just completely evaporates. So if you can just dodge a charge, it's probably one of the better ways of dealing with that kind of stuff. Alright, aim for them. Just watch as this plays out. They're going for the charge again. Run up. No, they were just repositioning. Never mind. They're down to just 36 troops now. There's less of them than are of us. I think that one is all but... yeah, that one is dissolved at this point. Down to 18 troops. All that's left is... it's turned into an archer battle in the end. And our archers were better trained. Now we can see the actual arrows flying. They are stealth archers, yeah. More kiting archers, really. It's possible that they were getting shot, but the problem is from as... I didn't feel I was zoomed out that far, but from a certain zoom level, you stop seeing projectiles, but the fact that they were just thrown was unpleasant. The gods have smiled upon your name, victory is ours, and our foe has been the beaten. Loads of drinks, armor, flanxes, some bows, stupid amounts of rations, good amount of clothes, shields, leather armor, and falcatas. We've also got a lot of prisoners. An awful lot of prisoners. Yes. Am I going to have enough room for them? Yeah, we should do. And whatever we don't have is fine. Right, let's head back and see the damage. Yeah, to a man, that entire squad got wiped. Ouch. That hurt. So we're going to have to build up the entire Ifans and Morals from scratch. Dear Lord, that was a painful loss. And largely because we do no longer employ as many emissaries as are needed. As a result, their assignations will suffer penalty. We should cancel a few missions. There is no shortage. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, that all happened because I allowed them to engage. I really should have pulled them back. Pull you back. Gonna pull you back. Actually, let's have a little bit of a nosy at what's going on over there. They're the more likely places for us to attack next. Humans are more populous than the Crotonians. That's true. That happened quite recently. That'll probably readjust, though, fairly swiftly. That being said, the Crotonians breed a lot faster than the humans, though. Like, crazy faster than the humans. Largely because Crotonians reach adulthood so much quicker, and so more children can be had to fill the spots. Right, how many prisoners? There's 48 in total we can have. Sadly, none of you are going to be able to be tried. You decided to attack us before we finished the setup there. So sad, so sad. I do. Well, I've got the throne that we started with. It's not much of a throne room. Still in a mud hut, basically. But yeah, we do technically have one. All of those drinks. People are just diving into those right now. They are hitting the bottle hard. It's going to take us a little while to get our workforce back in place. A good bit of that is going to come from hiring more Talapis and Crotonians. Alright, let's have a quick look at our prisoners. A bunch of them are being enslaved. Quite a lot have been sentenced to death in the arena. A reasonable amount of them are being kept in prison, so they will eventually get an opportunity to be tried, so, you know, not terrible for them. Are there lots of people in the hospital right now? No, only one or two. That's not too bad. Right, so in terms of the squads, got 19 recruits have joined the Rose Thorns, and there are presently 32 recruits in Ifan's Immorals. At this point, we've probably got enough humans that we could switch out Ifan's Immorals to be humans. No, I think keeping the division name with the actual division setup that we started off with, I think makes more sense. But I think we do have now have enough that we could perhaps set up a small division of Dondorians or humans as well. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't the worst engagement it could have been. It certainly could have been a lot worse, but it was a rough one. Right, we're selling a load of clothing. Is there anything else we can sell? Yeah, I'm going to say we need to sell off some of the rations because we've got way too much now. So let's set that up as well. Sell it off if I've got over 95% of my storage. Because at the moment, there's just a bunch of stuff probably just like lying on the ground all over the place. But that wasn't the worst engagement. We did lose an entire squad, which, you know, granted, very bad, but we still did win against a significantly more numerous opponent. So you gotta take the wins where you can with that sort of thing. But I think that's going to be where we wrap things up for today. It turned into a bit of a longer stream than I first intended. But I'm fairly happy with what we got done. We've started to expand out our little areas down here. Well, this one not so much, but this one very much so. I've basically got a little town square down here. So it's a new landmark location. Vastassic Isle. In terms of setting up things around here, we haven't really gone even remotely closer to getting Omega Dracon Grove set up. But part of that is because now that we've got regions, proper regions, I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. Because originally the idea was to have all the Tilapis living up there, cutting, set up as woodcutters and getting plenty of pastures possibly along the outskirts. But now I'm not sure that having the woodcutter there is going to make even the blindest bit of difference. And instead, I think going just for pure pastures is the play to make. As for the city itself, we've unlocked a lot of new technology, which is really, really cool. And we are definitely now in a position where we're making money actively. Thanks to the one big fight that we had, in which we claimed a fairly populous new region and are now sending back large amounts of cotton and, you know, middling amounts of meat and leather as well. That's something that we want to improve on, and we are very, very close to it. As soon as the population goes over 2k, we'll be able to upgrade from a town hall to a city hall, and that is going to give us a load more things we can play with, including getting a new builder, which will give us even more build points. And with that, I am very, very tempted to either go for the woodcutter, which will allow us to remove our reliance on just chopping wood ourselves manually or importing it, or going for the gem mine. Now, the gem mine is probably the greater thing in terms of what's attracting me right now. Although it's a small amount of gems that would be developed here, 15 gems a day is still a lot of money worth of gems, because we use barely any gems for maintenance. We don't have jewelry making yet, but that is something that we could look into if we have a location that is actively sending us gems. And even if we don't turn into jewelry, we can just sell the gems themselves for a fairly big profit. And that's something that we do need to look for. We need to actively be trying to increase the revenue streams that we have to be able to sustain a growing population in our cities. Yeah, the recovery is going to be a nightmare for my melee troops. The loss of an entire 70-strong squad was incredibly painful. But we are recovering. And we are going to continue to recover. We're up to 1.22 thousand people. Hey, Lady Sheila, we're just wrapping up now. We've got a reasonable workforce. It is going to take us time to get our forces back together, but we will manage it. And every time these kinds of fights happen, we end up with so many more resources to sustain a larger combat population as well. So, just another glimpse into the Rose Thorns. Currently 19 recruits. There are 51 deployable soldiers. 45 of them need to train, and only one of them isn't able to at the moment, so it's fine. There are more fully trained soldiers now than there were before, or a little while ago. We currently have 32 Kryptonians training for Ethan's Immorals, but this is gonna be a painful one to restore, because they were so well trained. They were at a very, very high level of skill. Now, honestly, I think I misplayed, not only in having them engage the Amevias when they attacked, but then trying to pull back from the combat just opened them up to more sustained damage. I think I should have just committed, and that's something that's a lesson I'll take forward. Hopefully, we won't suffer those sorts of losses again. But that was an example of how powerful range combat is. The Rose Thorns more or less won that fight by themselves. Getting a second Talapi squad to train up alongside them so I can have a degree of crossfire would be a pretty solid move, in my opinion. That might well allow us to do some really, really nice stuff on the global stage. As for things going on in here, I think we're going to need to set up another place, another sales location, and specifically to sell on fabric, because we are presently almost running out of room for it. We've just got so much stuff coming through. It's kind of broken. In fact, that's one of the things I'm going to do quickly before we wrap things up. I will send over a load of cotton and a load of fabric. Loads of cotton, in fact. There we go. And I will take 2,600 off you. 26,000, sorry. I keep making that mistake. And accept. Dunk. That gives us a nice bit of cash then to just shore up any shortfalls that we have. But alright, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I massively enjoyed streaming for you again. Hopefully it won't be even remotely as long before the next stream. And again, as I said right at the beginning of the stream, there's a strong chance it's going to be Phoenix Point. I really want to just play that game a bit more. I want to keep going with that campaign. I've never finished the game, so there's so much I want to see happen. I want to see how the story pans out. And for those of you who are following over on my main Aavak YouTube channel, I will be continuing to upload regular Pacific Drive videos, along with other series as well. So we've got a very close to complete run of Backpack Hero that I want to finish. And of course we've got Going Medieval, Clanfolk, and maybe, possibly, some Backpack Battles. But I'm not sure about that one yet. We'll watch the numbers and see what people's interests, where they lie. Oh, Sumi, thank you ever so much for the 105 months, mate. I'm afraid that I am wrapping up the stream here, but thank you so much. That is a ridiculously long time to have been supporting the channel. If you have a couple of hours, then there is going to be a 8.5-hour VOD available for you as soon as I end the stream. So if you do want to catch up on what happened in Songs of Syx and you don't want to have to wait until I start uploading them on Aavak After Hours, then you can just jump into that one. But thank you again, everyone, for the absolutely amazing stream. You were wonderful, as always you are. But that's going to be it from me for now. So a final glance at our growing town, which now has a... I really would like to develop that island in the next Songs of Syx stream. Maybe both of these islands. I think that would actually be quite fun. But yeah, the city is coming along, and the kingdom continues to grow. Take care, everyone.